In today's video, I'm going to be doing something that most YouTubers never do. I'm going to be breaking down 10 items that I sold over the last 30 days in my Amazon business. And I'm not only going to be sharing with you what I sold, I'm going to give you the picture. You'll be able to see the ASIN. You'll be able to see screenshots of me actually purchasing the item, screenshots of my actual sales. And I'm going to be breaking down 10 of these products that I flipped on Amazon and just sharing with you everything so you could go out there and do it yourself. Now, before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, which is SellerAmp. And matter of fact, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you screenshots from SellerAmp of every single item that I sold. Because when it comes to doing online arbitrage or eBay to Amazon flips or Amazon to Amazon flips, I personally have done over $700,000 in the last year with eBay to Amazon flips. Before I buy any item to flip, I always use SellerAmp to analyze it, because SellerAmp can give you a bunch of information such as what's your ROI going to be? How much profit are you going to make? Are you gated on the product? You can take a look at the competition, see all the different sellers on the listing so you can get an idea of how much you could sell the item for. SellerAmp has a Keepa chart built in. You could also dive into the buy box statistics. To make a long story short, I could never run my business the way I run it if I didn't have SellerAmp. So again, big shout out to SellerAmp for sponsoring this video. And if you guys are thinking about doing any form of online arbitrage, check the link down below to get a free 14-day trial to SellerAmp. So without further ado, let's get into today's video, and I want to share with you these 10 items that I flipped so you can go out there and do this for yourself. All right, guys, so let's get into the 10 hot selling products that I purchased on eBay.com and flipped on Amazon for some killer profits. All right, so let's get into flip number one. And throughout this video and the 10 flips that I'm going to share with you, you're going to be able to see a bunch of different information. Number one, you're going to be able to see the flip number. I'm going to share with you 10 flips. This is number one. Here, you're going to see a screenshot from eBay.com. So this is the exact screenshot, so you can see how much we actually paid, because there's a lot of people who are going to share with you items that they sold, but did they really buy those items for that price? Did they really sell them for that price? We're going to share with you what we actually paid for the item. You can see the eBay invoice right over here for $44.28. You're going to also be able to see the Amazon invoice in the top right-hand corner. So this is my actual screenshot from inside of my Amazon account. So you'll be able to see the custom SKU here. LO stands for Little Owl Prep, which is my prep center. $44.28 is the buy price. Right here is going to be the date that we purchased the item. And then this is going to be the person on my team who purchased the item. So I have two virtual assistants who source for me, Jane and Gia. Sometimes I purchase items as well. We'll see if my name is here at all, but 99% of the items that we purchase on eBay to flip on Amazon are from my virtual assistant team. Then up here in the middle of the screen, you're going to be able to see how I sourced the items. So all of these items I purchased using the software Replen Catcher. This is a software that I developed. It's a really special software that will essentially help you to source undervalued deals on eBay to then flip them on Amazon, and it'll save you literally tons of time. It's how we purchase all of our items. And lastly, down here in the bottom right-hand corner is going to be a screenshot from SellerAmp. So again, big shout out to SellerAmp for sponsoring today's video, but I use SellerAmp every single time before we purchase an item. I do, my team does, because SellerAmp, again, they're going to share with us a lot of valuable information. But here in this screenshot, you're going to be able to see what the bestseller rank was, the monthly sales, our max cost for us to be able to make at least a 50% ROI. But most importantly, you're going to be able to see what we paid for the item. So we're going to put in our buy price right here of $44.28 for this example, what we ended up selling the item for, which again, you can see right here with my Amazon screenshot. We sold it for $85.37. And then SellerAmp will literally break down what will be my profit, what will be my ROI, and of course, profit percentage, break-even price. But the most important thing I want to share with you is what am I actually making for profit and what am I making for ROI? So right here for this first flip, this is a Lego set that we flipped. I love flipping Lego. If you're not able to sell Lego, go over to lego.com, purchase some items, get an invoice, submit that to Amazon, and you will get ungated. Lego is one of my favorite brands to flip. And this item right here was the Lego Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Lab Escape 79-100. Paid $44.28 on eBay thanks to Replen Catcher. Sold it for $85.37, and that came out to $22 profit and 50% ROI. Leave a comment down below if you love to sell Lego as well. All right, so let's get into flip number 2. And right here, we actually have a tool, a home improvement item. I love flipping tools, home improvement from eBay to Amazon. This was brand new sealed. This is a Black & Decker rechargeable power scissor item right here. We paid $32.88. As you can see, we purchased this at the end of April, so didn't really take long to sell. Probably only took a week or two to sell after actually checking in, because again, everything we buy goes to Little Olive Prep. And sometimes it could take a week or two, and then it has to get checked in, fulfillment center transfers. But this sold fairly quickly when it actually got checked in. Paid $32.88, sold for $76.33. And again, if you take a look here at the SellerAmp screenshot, we made $27 profit and 84% ROI. This is why I am obsessed with using tools like Replen Catcher to find inventory. Now, of course, nothing's better than going to a garage sale or a thrift store and picking up an item for $1 or $2. Obviously, we're having to pay up on this item, $32.88, but you can literally log into Replen Catcher. It'll share with you hundreds of thousands of opportunities just like this. And you might not realize that Replen Catcher actually integrates to Amazon. So it'll actually sort out and filter out everything that you're gated on. So if you're worried about using Replen Catcher and being gated on everything, just turn on the tab to filter out all the restricted items. And you could choose to only see the items on eBay that you could flip on Amazon for maybe 50, 60, 70% ROI that you're able to sell. You're not gated and restricted on. Because if you're a new seller, you're probably going to be gated on Black & Decker, but who knows, maybe you're able to sell it. But I love the fact that I can log into Replen Catcher, have the item shipped directly to my house, or in this case, my prep center. I don't have to see it. I don't have to touch it. Literally, it just gets drop shipped to my prep center. They prep it up. We give them the price, the condition. This item was new. Gets sent to Amazon. Bada bing, bada boom. $27 profit, 84% ROI. Let's go. All right, flip number 3. Now, I know a lot of people who follow me on this channel are booksellers, media sellers. You're flipping CDs and DVDs. Maybe you're only going to thrift stores. Maybe you're only going to library sales, and you're thinking to yourself, Steve, I don't want to be flipping ink and tools and home improvement and office supplies. I want to stick to my bread and butter. I want to stick to my books and my board games and DVDs and CDs. Well, here we have the Pink Panther classic cartoon DVD that I sold, and we actually picked up 2 of them. So we actually ended up paying about $114, but it came to about $57 and change because we did buy 2 of them. And we actually sold 1 copy already, and we sold this for $126.44. And again, if you don't believe me, take a look at the bottom left-hand corner. You can see what we paid on eBay, quantity of 2, and take a look at the top right-hand corner. We sold this for $126.44. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, I don't want to spend $50, $60 on a DVD. Well, you have to understand that's the price that you're going to have to pay to not have to go out to the thrift stores, to not have to go out to the garage sales, to literally be able to just use your capital and have it work for you. I think of my money now as a bunch of different soldiers that are going out, working, fighting, and bringing back more money for me. So this was a $57 soldier that I sent out, but guess what? I sent him out, he came back, and he brought back $42 worth of profit, 74% ROI. What did we do? We simply logged into Replen Catcher. We went into the DVD category. We filtered items that were going to be over 30, 40% ROI, and we found this item. Now, a lot of times we will be making best offers on Replen Catcher on eBay. You know, we'll find deals that are maybe 20, 25% ROI, make a best offer, and we'll literally just manufacture a 60% ROI. Yes, believe it or not, there's a lot of people who are selling on eBay who their items just don't sell, and maybe they got the item priced at $75. You make a best offer at $50 and boom. Maybe you do some negotiation and get a deal at $57. They're happy. They bought it for $1 or $2 at a thrift store, or maybe it was laying around their house. It was a gift, and you're happy as well because you could flip it and make 74% ROI, $42 profit. And again, big shout out to SellerAmp, because I could never run this business if I didn't have a tool like SellerAmp. And this screenshot you see right here, this is actually from their Chrome extension. It pops up on the sales page. You put in your buy price, you put in your selling price, and it will literally share with you your profit and ROI. And if you go one step further, you can go into the settings of SellerAmp and you could add in additional costs. Like for example, we have $7 in additional fees that we take out because it takes about $7 from our virtual assistants, prep center expenses, bookkeeping, legal. Like we have a big team, so there's a lot of overhead. But maybe for you, you just have $1 or $2 overhead for supplies, tools. Maybe you have a VA, maybe a prep center, whatever you want to do. You could put it into SellerAmp and it'll subtract those fees and give you an even more accurate ROI and profit. If you want to make money selling on Amazon, you've got to know your numbers. All right, baby, let's move on to flip number 4. Now, here we have a Viewpoint Solutions magic wand. So this is a portable scanner. And make sure, guys, go look and see if you can sell these items. And even if you're restricted, attempt to get auto-ungated, because the more you sell on Amazon, the more they're going to auto-ungate you in these different brands. But this is a portable scanner. I flipped many variations of this. There's a lot of different colors and versions of it. But this is the ST415. As you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, we bought this on May 11th for $29.56, and we flipped it on Amazon thanks to Replen Catcher for $67.48. Now, if you take a look at the seller amp screenshot, you can see this isn't a super fast selling item. It's 183,000 rank in the office supplies category. Only 7 sales per month because I don't go after super fast selling items. I'm flipping items from eBay to Amazon. I don't have invoices that Amazon's going to accept. So if I'm going to a thrift store, a garage sale, eBay to Amazon, whatever, I'm not going to sell the most popular items. But guess what? On listings like this, they're discontinued. Amazon's not going to be on the listing. Wholesale suppliers aren't going to have this product. So there's typically only 2, 3, 4, 5 sellers. So even if it's only selling 7 times a month, once I win the buy box, you better believe it that bada bing, bada boom, the profits are going to come soon. And right here, $26 profit. Never saw the item, never touched the item. Bought it with Replen Catcher, drop shipped it to the prep center. They shipped it to Amazon. And then at the end of the day, I made 90% ROI. Come on, guys. This is why I'm so excited about this. I don't know how to get it through people's heads. The opportunity that is literally sitting on eBay to flip on Amazon. It is insane. Of course, I love thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets. Like, that's number one. But that takes so much time to go out and find this stuff. Why not just have your little soldiers working for you? I'm telling you guys, if you haven't tried Replen Catcher, get a 14-day free trial. If you don't love it, if Replen Catcher doesn't pay for 6 to 12 months of the subscription costs, the first week that you're using it for 6 to 12 months worth of the software, like, literally just stop using it. There's so much money, but you're going to have to take time to learn how to use it. A lot of people nowadays, they want to make all this money, but they don't put in any effort. Learn how to use Replen Catcher, and I can promise you, you will never, ever have another day where you say to yourself, couldn't find anything at the thrift store. The garage sale sucked. It was raining out. I guess I can't find inventory. You could find so much inventory. And this is an example right here. Flip number 5. Let's get into some toys. Now, this is another brand that if you're not able to sell, get ungated in Mattel. I love flipping Mattel. This is a Disney Planes toy right here. You got to be careful with these though, because sometimes the plastic that is encasing the toy could start to disconnect from the cardboard. I flipped thousands of these items. If you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, there was actually a deal that I did, I think 2015, 2016, where I spent like $5,000 on these Disney toys. And I went to a guy's house, I think it was like North or South Carolina, and just picked up a ton of them and flipped them all. Like, these are just amazing. Right here, people, they're going to just pass on this item. Why? Look at the seller amp screenshot, 657,000 rank. The average traditional OA sellers will be like, this sucks. Only 2 sales a month? Garbage. But guess what, guys? I've literally sold this replen probably about 40 times. I'm giving you guys a really great replen that I pick up on eBay and flip on Amazon. And, it doesn't sell the fastest. It's not going to be gone in a week or two. Sometimes it could take a month or, a month and a half, 2 months. But I paid $30.57, sold it for $69.99, $24 profit, 78% ROI according to Seller Amp. And again, take a look at the screenshots. I paid $30.57. That's the exact item that I picked up. And it did take, probably a couple months after getting checked in and everything. But, I love toys. The toy category is probably my number one category that I am selling and flipping right now in 2025. You probably think it's books. You probably think it's DVDs. At one point, those were my most popular niches, but now I'm really, really deep into toys. Toys sell incredible on Amazon, and especially during Q4. I mean, right now it's June at the time that I'm recording this, but toys sell all year round. It's just during Q4, October, November, December, they just skyrocket, along with the Legos, which are, inside the toys category as well. So yeah, another great flip that the average reseller would just say is crap. But guess what? I'm flipping it and I'm flying under the radar. All right, guys. So I'm going to start sharing with you some more obscure items that you probably don't think that you could flip on Amazon, or maybe you had no idea that I was flipping. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some pretty cool replens that I'm tracking within Replen Catcher. And again, keep in mind, Replen Catcher is not only a software where you have to bring all your own replens. You can literally go into what's called the live stream and you could source from about 2 million products. So if you have no replens, if you've never really sold on Amazon before, you don't don't need a replens list. But another powerful feature of Replen Catcher is if you do have your own replens list, or if you know how to storefront stock other sellers, you can steal other sellers' items, or you could bulk upload products to Replen Catcher, and you could track and monitor all those items. And when they become available on eBay at a certain target buy price or at a certain profitability, Replen Catcher will notify you. Also, another new feature of Replen Catcher is now Replen Catcher integrates with your Amazon account, so you can actually go into all your orders within Replen Catcher. So say, for example, you sold this item on Amazon recently, you could go in and you can add this to your replens list, and Replen Catcher will track it on eBay 24/7 and notify you when it becomes available on eBay at a certain price or profitability, which just makes the software so freaking powerful. It's insane. But right here is, like I said, a more obscure item. You probably weren't aware that I was flipping, but this is a Lexmark toner. We actually bought 2 of them for $172.50. So that comes to $86.25. Again, not a super popular item, only 3 sales a month, 255,000 rank. And this is why I love eBay to Amazon. People think what I'm doing is silly. They think it's stupid. They're like, oh, you're going after these slower selling items, only selling 3-4 times a month, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 rank. Like, you're probably not making money. Yo, I did over $700,000 in sales last year for $175,000 profit. But that's the type of business you want to be in. You want to be in the business where people laugh at you, but then long term, they start asking you, like, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Like, holy crap, you made over 6 figures profit. Like, just last month, I shared my seller board net profit, and I did over $14,000 net profit in 1 month. So I'm telling you, this works, but from the outside, people are laughing. But the people who are doing this, and there's probably, 300 or 400 people, I feel like, in the world doing eBay to Amazon. There's not a lot. The people who are doing it, they know, right? On Replen Catcher alone last month, users spent almost $500,000 on eBay buying items just like this. But this item right here, I flipped it, made $60 profit for almost 70% ROI. So as you can see on the Seller Amp screenshot, only 250,000 rank, top 3%, nothing special, only 3 sales a month. Most people think it's garbage, but guess what? When you know, and then you make $60 profit flipping an item like this. All right, guys, let's keep moving here. Flip number 7. We actually have a ceiling fan and light remote. I flip a lot of different ceiling fans. There's a bunch of different brands out there. Believe it or not, there's people who have houses with ceiling fans, and guess what? The ceiling fan is 10 years old, 15 years old. You're not going to be able to go into Home Depot or Lowe's and buy that exact same version. Now, maybe you could buy like a knockoff brand or a generic brand, but guess what? There's people out there who are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old who love their Harbor Breeze, model 037642 remote, and they don't want to use a generic one. They don't trust the new stuff. They like their old remote. Well, guess what? You're not going to go into Home Depot and Lowe's and get that exact version. Where are you going to go? You're going to go on eBay. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think a brand like Harbor Breeze is going to be attacking you and sending out IP complaints on a remote that's 10 or 15 years old? Now, I don't know how old this one is, so don't quote me on that. No, they're not going to be attacking you. They're going to be going after the sellers who are selling their new current items. Only 6 sales a month, 298,000 rank. But guess what, guys? I flipped this for 68% ROI and $23.77 profit. I'm not special, right? Sometimes like you watch people's YouTube videos and you're like, wow, this guy or girl, like they think they're so cool. They think they're so special. I don't think that at all, guys. I've literally just tapped into like an untapped niche, like an untapped products. Like everybody's going this way on Amazon. They're going into traditional OA and making their 10, 15% ROI. They're going into all this debt and they're freaking running up their Amex cards and they're showing off their orange bars. But guess what? They're still living in their parents' basement. Guess what? They still have all this crazy debt. Guess what? They're not actually making any money. But me and, my couple hundred students, we're going this way and we're freaking making a killing. We're selling the items that everybody thinks is unsexy, uncool, right? It's like all the popular kids over there and they're all getting hooked on drugs and doing all this stupid stuff. And we're over here reading books, getting smart, making money. Stupid example. I know. Don't listen to me. I'm getting crazy right now. But guys, look at this stupid item that I just flipped for $23. If a bozo can do it like me, what's stopping you? Leave the cool table. All right, guys, flip number 8. We are reinventing what table at the cafeteria is cool, because I feel like I'm sitting at the cool table. Why? Because I'm actually making money when all these other people out there are not. They're just showing the numbers and trying to sell you a $10,000 course. Here we bought 2 of these McFarlane Toys DC Batman items, paid $105 out the door. Comes to about $52. Between the 2, we sold one of them for $97 Look at this, another 40, almost 46% ROI, $24 profit. If you can sell these items, start flipping these guys. I am sharing with you the exact replens. I am doing what everybody else doesn't do. All the gurus out there, they're telling you, do this, do wholesale, do traditional OA. They never share their products. They never show their items. They never share their net profit. Why? Because it's a bunch of phony baloney, guys. There's a lot of phony balonies out there. The things that are working right now are eBay to Amazon, going to thrift stores and finding books, flipping DVDs. People are making money with this. Yeah, maybe you're not going to get rich. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sell my eBay to Amazon business for freaking 7 figures. But guess what? I don't have to go out and get a freaking warehouse and have hundreds of thousands of dollars of overhead. And then guess what? You're doing traditional OA and wholesale and you're $10,000 in a product. And guess what happens? Amazon comes and they say, you can't sell this product anymore. You're gated or restricted. Or they say, we're restricting this ASIN. You're freaking screwed. With eBay to Amazon, we're only picking up 1 or 2 quantity. So yeah, we don't have invoices. There's a little more risk because if Amazon asks for an invoice or get a section 3, but I've been doing this for over 5 years, guys. And if you go after items like this and fly under the radar, you're going to be perfectly fine. Of course, is there a chance that when I'm driving to the grocery store, I could get hit by a car? Of course. I don't try to be a crazy person by saying that, but there's always risk with every business model. The only difference is I'm actually making money. Flip number 9. I love flipping these old vintage Radica games. You're not going to get an IP complaint, bozo to clown, flipping a Radica old solitaire game, guys. I don't even know how old this is. It's probably, when this came out, I probably had a full set of hair. Look at this, guys. Paid $94, flipped this for $179.99, $51 profit. Big shout out to SellerAmp because as you can see, 300,000 ranking toys. Most of your little traditional OA friends are going to say, this is garbage. This is junk. You know, most of the people who are doing wholesale, I would never touch this with a 1,000-foot pole. I'm touching it and I'm bringing it home and I'm coddling it. $94 to $179, $51 profit, 55% ROI. The other day in a video, someone says, this clown again coming out with another video. This clown made 6 figures while you're sleeping in your parents' basement at 52. And last but not least, flip number 10. Big shout out to Seth, Checkmate Flips. If you guys aren't following Seth, Checkmate Flips, he's done over $1 million, almost close to $1.5 million flipping from eBay to Amazon. He is a Replen Catcher user as well. Big shout out to Seth. Give him a follow. He put me onto this item quite a few years ago, and this freaking product right here, this Replen has made a killing for me, guys. If you can sell Casio, there's so many opportunities. Picked this up for $51.04, flipped it for $138.22. But Steve, show me the actual invoice on eBay. Show me the actual sale on Amazon. It's there. Screenshots are right there. The only thing holding you guys back from doing this is just getting out of your own way and doing it, and stop listening to the nonsense online from the people out there. Guys, I don't think there's anything wrong with traditional online arbitrage. I actually don't think there's anything wrong with wholesale. But you have to understand what you're getting into, and you have to understand how much capital do you have and what's your experience. From my understanding, in terms of what I believe, I think the best way for people to get started nowadays is going to thrift stores, going to garage sales, flipping items from eBay to Amazon. I think Amazon to Amazon book flips using tools like Bookmine. I think that's another great opportunity. I think traditional OA is great, but it's just much more advanced. You're going to need a lot more money. You're going to need a lot more business experience. The margins are going to be a lot less. There's a lot more risk. You know, big shout out to my friends Miles and Fields of Profit. You know, big shout out to them. They're killing it with traditional online arbitrage. But you just have to understand it's a different game. And I feel like most of the people that I'm talking to on this channel only have a couple $1,000. And I just don't think traditional OA and wholesale is the best for you at that stage. But down the road, you know, you could definitely do traditional OA. You could definitely do wholesale. You could even start your own product line with private label, but you're not going to ever experience flips like this, guys. I mean, I am obsessed with items like this. So there we go, guys. Those are the 10 flips that I've sold recently. These are all items that I sold in the month of May. So you can kind of take a look at my custom SKU in terms of when we bought it. And just keep in mind, like, it could take, 4 to 8 weeks for it to actually become available for sale, because you have to understand it takes a week for the item to get shipped to the prep center. It could take anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks for the prep center to ship it out. And then it could take anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks for the item to actually get checked into Amazon. It's the cost of selling via FBA. But these are the flips. These are the replens. These are some of the items I'm selling, what I paid, what I sold it for. Big shout out to SellerAmp. If you guys aren't using SellerAmp and you're doing any form of online arbitrage, I don't know what you're doing, guys. This software has so many powerful features. And not only do they have the Chrome extension, which you've been able to see part of the screenshot of the Chrome extension information here, but they also have a desktop version, and they also have a mobile app where you can go out if you're doing like retail arbitrage and whatnot. You could go out and scan products at the store, brand new products, and you can be able to calculate your ROI, your profit. You can take a look at a Keepa chart that's built in, buy box statistics. I mean, there's just so many powerful features to SellerAmp. I just can't say thanks enough. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the transparency and authenticity of this video. I'm giving you guys everything I'm flipping. The only thing stopping you is just going out there and making it happen. If a guy like me can do it, you can do it as well. And you can start this at a small scale, spend $100 a month, scale to 200, 300, start slow. Don't go out and spend $10,000 a month. Start slow, but get after it, guys. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. But with that being said, much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.